What is up, everyone? I'm Skratch. Welcome to the channel. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Hope you guys are having an amazing day, guys. I'm finally back. I've been away for the last 1 week or so, and there's a lot of catching up to do, guys. We're gonna have a guaranteed event starting tomorrow. I'm gonna walk you through it in just a second. Nothing too crazy, but it can be helpful for a lot of you guys. And we do have a lot of different events going on at the moment. We still have some progressive chance events on the following champions. One of them being the new champion added with the Alice in Wonderland event. I'm very curious if by any chance I've missed it. As I mentioned, I was away for the last 8 days or so. Have they announced kind of like a calendar for all of these new champions in terms of maybe one of them being a guaranteed or something else a bit more interesting rather than just progressive chance events? Because yesterday we had a Cheshire Cat, if I'm not mistaken, so I'm not sure if they are planning to do a guaranteed on any of these new champions. So far, when we had the Monster Hunter collaboration, they kind of like gave us a calendar, not necessarily with the dates, but more of a event calendar in terms of like, this is going to be a guaranteed, this will be a champion that you can acquire from different summoning events, etc. I'm curious if they release something like that now for Alice in Wonderland. I don't think they did, to be honest, or at least if they did, I've missed it. We have Sifi on the 15x right here. I would love a second Sifi just to be able to empower the other one, but most likely I'm not going to risk it for my 6 Void Shards, and that's pretty much in terms of summoning events that are currently happening. Now, we are going to have a guaranteed starting tomorrow. So this Thursday, January 16th, they're planning to launch a guaranteed champion event. Summon champions using ancient shards while the event is active, and you are guaranteed to get Feargun Isbale by your 40th ancient shard. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we had this champion as a guaranteed quite a few times. Actually, I can't even remember her actual... actually, she's the dwarf. I was gonna say, I can't remember her faction, but it's this one right here. Was she guaranteed before or she wasn't? Either way, this is another guaranteed for the Mikage fusion. To be honest with you guys, if you're going for the fusion and you might not have a lot of shards, but you think you need that you need this champion, basically, I would 100% go for the guaranteed to try and get Mikage done. She's just such an amazing champion. Now, at the same time, if this will basically stop you from completing the fusion, is a big question mark. What do you think it will improve your account more? How close you are to get Mikage if you are getting this guaranteed epic champion for the Mikage fusion, right? I do think that the current fusion is actually not bad at all. Theox 2.0, as I mentioned in a previous video, a lot of people went all crazy. Skratch, that's a clickbait. How can you compare this champion with Theox? They have absolutely nothing in common. They are completely different. Oh yes, they do. They are the only 2 champions in the game that have a skill that can enhance the damage through an ally attack by 10% per each debuff on the target. Theox and Mad Hatter are the only 2 champions in the game that can do it. Theox is a damage dealer, of course, is not Mad Hatter because Theox deals crazy damage as well. He has a lot of other things in the kit, but Mad Hatter is a support champion, and Theox doesn't do what Mad Hatter does on the other side, on the other hand either, right? All that matters is basically this skill, Theox 2.0, and I'm still gonna stick with that because that's the reality. Either way, I do think that he's a solid champion. I don't necessarily think that he's going to change my account, but I feel like he's definitely going to be very impactful on a lot of accounts out there, especially early game, mid game, even end game accounts that are looking to enhance their damage in different content. The only thing that I don't really like about the champion is that he's not going to be that good for the Chimera, and that's mainly because the fear is going to be all over the place. You cannot control when it lands, so it's not going to be helpful for the trials. The Thermiter is really nice on him. This skill is really good as well. And other than that, Hex sucks on the Chimera. It's pretty useless. It's just going to be like an extra debuff, basically. And debuff spread, again, sucks on the Chimera because you don't have any other enemies to spread it on. But for other content, is actually solid. Even for PvP, like, if you guys watched the video on Alice, I think, he was super annoying. Like, that fear was proccing non-freaking stop. Now, I quickly want to talk about a couple of different things, guys. And I've released a video related to the new legendary relic, right? Now, when I recorded that video, which was probably almost 2 weeks ago or 1 week and a half ago, I had no idea on how we are going to basically acquire the new legendary relic. And what happened is basically they dropped all sort of new materials, and this gives you a chance to forge it. So the problem is not guaranteed. Is a 50-50 chance to get either the event one, either to get some of the standard relics. So it really sucks if you're not getting that legendary relic. I do hope that they are going to make a similar event like they've done for the epic one, so everybody has a chance to get the legendary one, because it's absolutely game changing. I'm not really a fan of the entire system. Like, if you're doing the Queen's Fury tournament right now, you're going to be able to get an epic one. I can't really remember how many points you need to score in order to get it. It doesn't really matter anyway. Overall, yeah, it's a nice relic to have. It's not going to be absolutely insane, but it's a pretty strong relic. So I am hoping that they will do something similar for the legendary relic, so everybody can actually get it. I've got some trashy epic relic from my 100 legendary materials that I've used before. Then I won the Champion Chase tournament. I have 75 more. I'm going to wait for 25 more before I'm going to gamble again, right? So I really hope that I'm going to get that new relic, because if not, I'm probably going to lose it. We do have some rewards, but usually they tend to be like the epic materials rather than the legendary ones in all of these tournaments. At least that's what we had so far, except the Champion Chase one. Now, if we are going to go over to the Plarium and Play calendar, right here we're going to be able to see all of the upcoming events, at least all of the events that are related to the fusion. And as you guys may notice, we actually have a lot of different events that will give us this. Regal, Maskus. I'm not sure if they will have a different name based on the rarity. By the looks of it, it doesn't seem like it, because the Classic Arena Takedown gives us rares. At least that's what we got from the previous one. The tournaments usually gives us epic materials, and seems like the Summon Rush event that will start this Friday will give us as well some. Now, most likely this will be legendary, and maybe epics as well. Legendaries probably, the legendary ones probably will be locked behind a big paywall. Like, you need to open a lot of sacred shards or shards in general to smash that Summon Rush in order to get the materials. I actually went ham during the champ chase to try and get the materials to basically get a freaking relic, because it's so OP. And then we're gonna have another Summon Rush right here that will give us additional fragments for the epic champions for the that are being used in the fusion, and this as well will give us the masks as well, right? So basically a lot of summoning. Most likely the legendary ones will be locked behind summoning events and tournaments. Not the biggest fan of the whole idea. I'm just still hoping that they are going to do some form of a guaranteed way to get the legendary relic. And I'm talking about this one, guys. If you guys are not aware of what I'm talking about, the Cat's Case. Insane. It's almost the equivalent of having a 6-star Crushing Grand that you can move from champion to champion. Crazy. Yes, you're not going to get all of those additional stats, but being able to ignore 20% of the target's defense is going to be absolutely massive. Plus, you're going to be able to add some crazy gemstones on this one. So super worth it. Hopefully they will make it guaranteed, because gambling is not the best thing. And I did miss quite a few things. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys are still struggling with the event dungeon. Do you want me to do some guides on it? As I mentioned, I was away for the last 8 days or so I did not really have a chance to do guides for this dungeon. But if you guys want me to do some, if you're still struggling with this, I'll try to find a few different teams. Let me know in the comments down below. And before we're closing this video, guys, what do you guys think about the market changes? And I'm talking about the stupid price, the stupid cost for the pieces of gear. So this is a 5-star at a 1.1 million. I'm gonna waste a few gems to see if I can find something like this one. 4.8 million silver. I've seen pieces reaching almost 10 million silver, guys. absolutely insane. I'm not saying it if it's a amazing piece of Savage, an amazing piece of speed gear, right? Where you think maybe I'm gonna hit a quad on that speed or something, and you're wasting 6, 7, 8, 9 million silver for a piece. In a way or another, thinking about how hard it is for me to get a good piece of gear when I'm farming and I need to waste tens of thousands of energy to get something good out of it, it doesn't sound too bad, right? But then when you're thinking about the overall economy and stuff in the game and thinking that you're gonna have to pay like 10 million, 8, 9 million silver for a piece of gear is a bit like, what the heck, you know? Like, what were they smoking when they've put these prices in here? I'm pretty convinced that a lot of you guys are kind of like thinking about that, right? Like, a lot of pieces are super, super expensive. So this one is a legendary 2.9. Very bad stats, not worth buying, right? Let me just refresh it a couple of times. Maybe I'm going to find something a bit more juicy. To be honest, I haven't got anything interesting in my market so far, but I've seen some of my clanmates and a lot of you guys from the community that posted in my Discord. A lot of you guys got some decent piece. Look at this, 9.5 million. Crit rate, defense, speed, crit damage. So, I don't know, man. Like, is this worth it for you guys? I feel like this, it might not be worth it for me either. You know, like, this is a lot of freaking silver to pay for one piece of gear. So I can get it and get a one roll on each. Or I can get it and dodge the speed. And that would be like a massive waste of silver, you know? I'm not even sure if I should get it. Probably I'm not going to get it because it's too expensive, you know? Even though I do have a chance to hit a quad, 10 million silver, considering that I only have 120 million, that's a lot of silver. Either way, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. We do have the free gear removal, guys. Feel free to basically rebuild your entire account. The curse series is still going on for 2 more weeks and a bit. Now is basically the perfect moment to rebuild Hydra teams, Chimera teams, Arena teams, or wherever. Make the most out of this free gear removal because it will save you a lot of silver, especially if you're planning to build multiple teams. That was all for the video, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you planning to go for the guaranteed event? As usual, appreciate all of you guys watching. Much love, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.